Hey everyone, Andrew Morrison here, also known as Andrew the Astrologer. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing and discussing part 2 to my astrology forecast and my main predictions and insights of what's really to come in the near future in the upcoming year of 2022. Now, again, this is part 2, episode 2, so if you haven't checked out part 1, to my 2022 astrology forecasts and predictions, definitely check out that video here on my channel. Now, again, if you are brand new to me and my channel, I help both men and women to help them step into their personal power and their worth so they can elevate their income, wealth, careers, and relationships all through the power of astrology. So with that said, if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing below and make sure that all notifications are also turned on because I do post multiple brand new videos and content here on my channel every single week. Now, before I get into today's main show and video, I do have a few spots and spaces available for readings and consultations. If you are really desiring and needing more deeper guidance and help right now, I love to sit down with you and work with you one-on-one privately. And you can actually schedule and book your reading and consultation by sending me a direct email, which my email is posted down in the description down there. Also found in the description down below is a link to my free private Facebook group. I just wanted to mention this if this does seem of interest as well. Keep in mind with these astrology forecasts for the upcoming year ahead of 2022, this is more on a general overview. So the best way to get the most out of my astrology forecast, I do post my astrology predictions every single month, and those are a lot more specific. It's a lot more in depth, and it includes more specifics in terms of dates and time frames goes. So in today's part 2 for my 2020 main predictions and my astrology forecast for what's ahead is today I'm actually going to focus on, in the business world, we call it Q1. So this is based on the quarter system. So if you aren't familiar with Q1, also known as quarter 1, this is from January all the way until the end of March. The reason why I want to focus on this today because there's so much dark and intense energy really brewing and occurring during this time frame. So definitely watch how the energy plays out because I'm actually labeling this time frame and really the winter, because it's winter season during that time frame, I'm calling this as the dark winter. So matters are going to be very intense and very explosive at times. I feel, well, pretty much all 3 months long, it's going to be very intense and very explosive. But what really stands out especially is January and February especially, and even March as well. But especially January and February look filled with a lot of danger, a lot of intensity, pretty much all the way from January until the end of March. Again, we will see more aggression, anger, hostility, rage, possibly more warlike activity, warlike energy, people fighting amongst each other's, riots, protests. And because of that, unfortunately, I actually see more of an uptick and more of a surge, an increase in crime and criminal behavior. And so if you do live in a major city, for example, I definitely feel like this will affect America and the States, for example. So if you live in a major city, definitely be very careful, be very safe, relax. Definitely don't engage in any of this criminal or violent behavior. Yes, on one hand, there's always crime every single year, but you also have to understand that, crime and criminal activity and behavior, there's ebbs and flows and there's different seasons, and this is where astrology also comes into play. And you have to understand that as above, so below. So again, it looks very dangerous, very treacherous, and there's this continuation of this trend and pattern of just people lashing out their pent up feelings and aggressions and inner hurts and their inner bruises out into their immediate environment and into their immediate societies and things of that nature. So it definitely looks very dark and gloomy. But one thing that's actually positive during this time frame is despite all this dark, very heavy and aggressive, hostile energy brewing during that time frame from January until the end of March. On the other hand, there's definitely this strong energy of humanitarianism, more togetherness. Not everyone, but there's definitely, again, more of this fighting for social causes, social issues, fighting for other people, other countries, cultures, things of that sort as well. Another thing that also stands out during this time frame, especially around March and February and early spring, is I'm picking up a lot of this deceptive energy, particularly with the media. And a lot of this two-facedness with, again, with the media and also people in positions of authority, power, and all of that. So, for example, the world will be presented one narrative, one story, when actually things are possibly the direct opposite. So, again, just a lot of deceptive lies, deceit, and things of that nature. And another positive thing about this time frame that I also want to hone in as well, during this time frame, I feel like a lot of people will be looking for more solutions, kind of thinking outside the box. So this could be all the way across the board from like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, looking to different solutions, different ways of doing business or lines of work or jobs. I just see a lot of this kind of creative energy flowing, but coming down to figuring out solutions rather than focusing on problems. And I also feel like this will also include, with the health crisis, people will be exploring more of holistic wellness that I did touch base on in part one. So people are just exploring and broadening their horizons, learning more about really what's out there and tapping into more different solutions and really doubling down on what's actually working and what's not working. So that is also something I see going on as well that is also positive despite all this dark and intense and explosive energy. So I hope you found today's part 2, episode 2, very informative and helpful. And if so, I'd love to hear your comments down below. And again, definitely subscribe to my channel and make sure that all notifications are turned on. Again, this is part 2, and there will be future episodes in accordance to really my main predictions and insights of what's ahead for the next year of 2022. Thank you again for tuning in and listening, and I'll see you in the upcoming videos ahead.